Hi, in this video I'm going to talk you through how you can check how well optimized your landing page is. But firstly, before I go through actually how you can check how well optimized it is, I just wanted to touch on how the importance of having well optimized landing pages. So whenever you're creating some kind of marketing campaign, you've got the different elements, and when it comes digitally, one of those will be the landing page or the web page that is where the users have been drawn to, and then that's what's doing the conversion. So it could be you run a Facebook campaign, you send them through to a page on your website or a specific landing page, and that's the page where you're going to capture the details and convert them into an actual inquiry or lead. So it's really important that you don't spend all your time, energy or budget in just driving people there, and then you're not investing in the time on getting the page right, so that actually it continues to take the users that you're attracting there on that journey and takes them through that funnel right through to convert to the conversion. Because we see it very often that there's a lot of focus on driving the traffic or driving people to a certain place, but actually very little time spent on analysing what's working, maybe testing two different pages to see which one performs better, or moving content around. So you can say, actually let's ask for less details rather than more details, because actually getting some details is more important than getting less people, because we want lots of information when we could ask that in the follow-up. So getting your landing page right and thinking about the flow and the experience of that landing page is really, really important to the success of a marketing campaign. So now I'm going to show you, take you through a checklist that we've created here at Mr. Digital to help our clients and other business owners to understand what things they should be looking for when they're considering developing or designing a landing page or a web page. Things that will help influence the users to take a specific action that you want them to. So I'm going to just flip the screen around now and take you through that. So if you go to our website, mr-digital.co.uk, and under our resource section, tools, you'll see landing page checklist. So if you click on that, here we go. Here, let me just, I'll just put our URL. So just put the URL to your website in there, and then click next. And here we go. We'll take you through the different sections that we've got. So firstly, it's kind of like the essentials. Are you providing a consistent experience? And we explain everything in here in the description as to what we mean by that. But this is really, really key, especially if you're running any advertising campaign, so Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, whoever you've decided to target in your marketing campaign, you've chosen the right ad or message to speak to them, but you don't want them then to click through to the page and it not be consistent with that. So don't be sending them to a home page if you're trying to promote a specific service. Take them to that service page, because otherwise the experience is less consistent and the user might land there and wonder, is this for me? And then they've got 3 seconds to make up their mind, or they're gone. So if they have to think about it, am I in the right place, the chances are they'll go before they've had a chance to realise they are. So make that experience really consistent. And again, just go through some others I'll just touch on here. So do you want to show, do you remove or hide the navigation? And this is important, not if on a web page. You certainly wouldn't want to do this on your website where you hide the navigation, but if you're running advertising and you want the user to take a specific action, then what you don't want is them to land on a landing page that has all of your navigation there, so they can easily get distracted and think, oh, what's this? Is this a blog? Is this a contact page? Is this? Actually, you want them to take a specific action. So this works well, for example, on e-commerce. If you're taking somebody and you want them to purchase something specifically, what you don't want is to have lots of different options where they can start clicking off and going and looking at different things when you want them to take one specific action. So removing or hiding the navigation, so the only option for the users is to go directly down the route you want them to. So you're funneling them through down a specific route rather than giving them the options so they can click off to buttons and go in all sorts of places. So that's really key, specifically for campaign stuff, advertising campaigns where you've got a specific outcome you want to deem the campaign successful. Get rid of the clutter. Again, relates a lot to this, because having so much stuff on your landing page because that's what you want there it's not great. You need to think about what is going to benefit the user, and what is going to help them make their decision that they want to continue through the process with you. So think less about you and more about your user, and that will be have a big impact. But again, I've gone past this one, but this is actually probably one of the most important: an attention grabbing and clear and concise headline. And the headline should be the main reason they stay when they first land on the page. If that headline catches their attention, then that's it. You've got them. They're there. They're considering it. They're going to look at the rest of your landing page. So make sure that that's really is attention grabbing, because that's going to be the first thing they see, and it's super important. And getting your headlines wrong can cost you huge volumes of conversions. So that's, if you were doing testing on A/B testing, that's the one that you'd want to test the most, because if you get that right, you really can see a big increase in your conversions. And I'll just skip through now and go to some of the other sections you can see. So we've got trust, credibility and security. So again, having a phone number is good. It shows a bit of trust on your site, so people can say, okay, this is a real company, it's not just some online, it's not some kind of scam or anything. It gives it a little bit more trust there straight away. You could use endorsements. So if you've worked with any clients or anything, you can put those on there. Anything that adds a bit of credibility to who you are as a business, that you are a legitimate business and somebody worth spending money with. So you see here, flaunt your certification. So any certifications, accreditations or anything, you'd want to use those on the site as well, because if people look and say, okay, these people have got their Google Ads exam, okay, now I believe they're a Google Ads expert because I can see they've got they've passed the certification. Therefore, Google is now confirming that these people are experts. Include privacy policy. Again, in the world we live in now, the data protection is really key, and people want to know that their data is protected. So ensuring that there is a link there, and that when you click the link, it takes you to a privacy policy page, and it's not a dead link, or it doesn't go through to a templated privacy policy page that hasn't been updated. Little things like this can have a really big impact. Then if we go optimizing the call to action, so again, make it really clear what action you want them to take, and ideally keep to one. If you're running a campaign specifically with a specific outcome, keep only one call to action. It might be nice to say, oh, let's give them 5 choices, but choices can be confusing sometimes. So if you've got a specific outcome, put that on there and let your campaign work for you, work towards that one goal. Keep the call to action where it can be seen. Again, this is a big one, because people often might put something near the top and then again right at the bottom, but it's like, actually you want the user, wherever they are on your landing page, to be able to take the action that you want them to. So making sure that it can be seen through the whole experience on the page is really key here. And then reducing the options that you want them to take. And then forms, so remove unnecessary fields. As I mentioned earlier, it's really common that people say, oh, but we want all of this information, I want their address and I want that. It's like, if you don't need that information, if that is not vital to the success of the campaign, then don't ask for it. You can always ask for information, data later, but get what is vital to the campaign up front, and limit it to that. And then maybe over time, if that's really working successfully, you could slowly introduce another field or another 2 fields, and then see how it impacts the campaign before you decide to actually, let's ask for everything and we think it doesn't work. But actually people are getting put off by filling in this whole form unnecessarily. White space, again, another make it nice, slick experience here. You can see, obviously you can click and see all descriptions, but white space around your form is really key, because you want it to kind of, you want to give it the respect on the page, because that's the area where people are putting in the information. So think about that. Making form labels and text easy to read, because there's nothing worse than if you've got a really light font on a light background and it's hard to read. Make it very clear and easy for the users to understand what they're doing, where they are, and what action is required for them to take. And then and a big one on forms as well is make sure that you've got a thank you page or confirmation page set up, and if you can add some value on that page so that they get something, that's a great little technique too. And then of course making sure that your landing page is mobile friendly and compatible, and actually viewing it, going through that experience on a mobile, is it as easy as it can be? Has it really been optimized for a mobile, or is it just a responsive version, and actually there's content there that doesn't need to be? You have to kind of swipe a lot before you actually get to the next piece of decent content. So it's really important that you actually, especially for campaigns again, that you make sure that it is as slick as possible experience, because it will impact your conversion rates. And ultimately, any investment you're doing in marketing is to reach your goal of sales or inquiries. So you want your conversion rates to be as high as possible. And page speed. So the time it takes for your website to load on both mobile and on desktop is really, really important. So you can do tests using Google Page Speed Insights. It's a free tool by Google that you can just put the URL in, and it'll tell you how long it takes for your website to load on mobile and desktop, so you can see if it's performing well. And then we've got testing. So again, once you've got everything set up, don't just think, well, hey, done. Actually, the only way to know if you're done, or you're never really done, is by getting it out there and testing it. So A/B testing, test 2 landing pages, but maybe with a different hero image, different background image, see which one performs better, then use that, make another variation, then maybe test headlines. Then maybe test the text on the button. Are you saying learn more, book now, apply now? Test those different variations, but don't test everything differently on 2 pages, because if they're completely different, how can you know which one performed better? So test one thing consistently each time. So as I said, it might be the images that you test first. Once you're happy that you've got an image that's performing well, then test 2 pages but change the headline. Once you're happy with that, then you try call to action. You can do different colours of buttons, the forms again as well, and then your offer. So what is the hook? Why are people giving you their information in the first place? Have you got a discount? Are you offering some added value? What is it? And testing different ones to see what works. And once you've done that, click submit. Again, you can see your score here, and then you can put your details in here, and then get the email, the report, detailed report emailed to you, and you'll get a PDF which will outline everything that you've ticked you do, and also leave on there all the areas that you haven't marked, so you know these are the actions you can take to improve the optimization of your landing page or website. So hopefully you found that really useful, and that you start using the tool and get the value from it, because it really will support you with your overall marketing campaigns and help you increase those conversion rates.